What about the other one?
Yes, this is a spare. If in case there's something wrong with it. Yeah,
They want
then
to
you
walk on the stage.
then you can use this one.
حوالين البرزنتيشن.
الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الذي يصح مع اسمه كل عليل. بسم الله الذي تطيب به النفس وتصحو. والصلاة والسلام على خير الأنام نبيه الأكرم الذي جعله هاديا ومعلما وقدوة للبشرية. السيدات والسادة الأفاضل، حفلنا الكريم، أهلا وسهلا بكم في هذا الحفل المميز والفريد من نوعه تحت عنوان هاكاثون قطر الأول للتكنولوجيا الصحية، حيث نحتفل فيه بثمرة الجهد العلمي والتفوق بالقطاع الصحي والتكنولوجي، حيث يلتقي العقل بالإبداع في محفل يجمع بين أفضل العقول في عالم الرعاية الصحية والابتكار التكنولوجي، لنخطو معا نحو مستقبل مشرق من العلم والمعرفة والتقدم. أعزائي الحضور، نحن هنا اليوم لنحتفل ليس بالمعرفة فقط، بل بالشغف والإصرار على تحسين حياة الإنسان. يسرني أنا محدثتكم ترتيل منتصر أن أكون العريف الجزء الأول من حفل اليوم. هذا الحفل الذي يقام احتفاء ببرنامج أقيم لأول مرة في قطر. هذا البرنامج الذي أقيم قبل عدة أيام وجمع كوكبة من أعلام القطاع الصحي والابتكار والتكنولوجيا. أما اليوم فنحن هنا لنتوج جميع الجهود المثمرة التي تكللت بالنجاح وأثمر عنها ابتكارات فريدة ومميزة وهادفة، ابتكارات تحدث فارقاً وتحدث قيمة عالية في مستقبل القطاعين التكنولوجي والصحي. فأهلاً وسهلاً بكم جميعاً في حفل اليوم لهاكاثون قطر الأول للتكنولوجيا الصحية 2024. أما الآن نبدأ بأولى فقرات حفلنا مع متحدثين ملهمين، ونبدأ بمن احتضن هذه الفكرة وكان داعماً أساسياً لها، نائب رئيس الجامعة للعلوم الصحية والطبية ومدير مركز البحوث الحيوية والطبية الأستاذة الدكتورة أسماء الثاني، فلتتفضل مشكورة.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السادة الحضور الكرام، يشرفني أن أكون معكم اليوم بالحفل الختامي لأول هاكاثون في جامعة قطر للتكنولوجيا الصحية في جامعة قطر. هذا الحدث الذي جمع العقول المبدعة، الطاقات الشابة والخبرات المتنوعة تحت سقف واحد، يهدف لاستكشاف حلول مبتكرة للتحديات التي تواجه قطاع الرعاية الصحية في قطر وفي العالم. خلال الأيام الماضية شهدنا مشاركات استثنائية وأفكار مبتكرة، برامج ملهمة تظهر حجم الطموح والرغبة الحقيقية في تحقيق التغيير الإيجابي. هذا الحدث لم يكن مجرد منافسة، بل كان منصة للتعاون والتبادل الفكري وبناء جسور بين العلم والإبداع والتطبيق. بهذه المناسبة أود أن أعبر عن خالص شكري وتقديري لجميع من ساهم في نجاح هذا الحدث من مشاركين، موجهين وخبراء، وإلى فريق العمل والمنظمين. والشكر خاص للداعمين والشركاء. شكراً لبنك قطر للتنمية، ومجلس قطر للبحوث والتطوير والابتكار، وشركة رفيق على دعمكم وتحفيزكم للإبداع، وشكراً إتقان لاستضافتكم واحتضانكم للنشاط. كما أود أن أشكر الدكتور أحمد السليطي رئيس شركة قطر فارما لحضوره الكريم اليوم. ونحن نستعد للاستماع إلى عروض الفرق النهائية. أود أن أؤكد على أن جميع المشاركين هنا هم فائزون، فكل فكرة طرحت وكل نقاش أجري وكل خطوة تم اتخاذها خلال هذا الهاكاثون هي خطوة نحو تحسين مستقبل الرعاية الصحية في قطر. أشكركم جميعا على كونكم جزءا من هذا الإنجاز، وأتمنى للجميع دوام التوفيق والنجاح في مشاريعكم المستقبلية. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
شكرا دكتورة أسماء على كلمتك الملهمة، وأحب أنوه على ما ذكرت الأستاذة الدكتورة أسماء: كل الذين وصلوا إلى هنا اليوم جميعكم رابحون. الآن لكل مشروع ناجح لابد أن يكون هناك بحث دؤوب لإنجازه، فنستمع لكلمة يقدمها مساعد نائب رئيس الجامعة للبحث والدراسات العليا في قطاع العلوم الصحية والطبية، الدكتور فراس علالي.
ممكن ترفع شوي. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. كون كلمة الدكتورة أسماء كانت في اللغة الإنجليزية العربية، فأنا حتكلم في اللغة الإنجليزية جست يعني إنه إحنا بعض الحضور الكريم من لا يتكلمون اللغة العربية. So, السلام عليكم. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to our first Health Hackathon in Qatar. Today, we celebrate not only the conclusion of an inspiring event, but also the incredible potential that emerges when passion, innovation, and collaboration come together. This event represents more than just competition. It's an opportunity to think beyond traditional boundaries, challenge assumptions, push the limits of what's possible in the health sector. Healthcare faces complex, evolving challenges, and it's initiatives like these that spark fresh ideas that we need. Today, we're bringing together a diverse group of talented students, health professionals, and innovators, united by a shared mission to harness creativity, knowledge, collaboration, and tackle pressing challenges in healthcare. Let me also emphasize how events like this align with our broader goals: to empower the next generation of healthcare leaders, to inspire innovation and foster culture of problem solving and critical thinking. As we look ahead, I encourage each of you to carry forward the momentum you have built here. Whether your project wins today or not, remember that the true measure of success lies in the impact you create in the real world. You have proven that you are not just a participant, you are an innovator, leader, and change maker. Thank you to everyone who helped bring this event to life, including our volunteers, mentors, organizers, and sponsors. Together, we have planted a seed of innovation that will continue to grow in the months and years to come. And to all of our participants, best of luck. We look forward to seeing the innovative solutions you create. Today, let's make this a memorable experience. Thank you so much.
شكرا دكتور فراس للكلمة الترحيبية الأكثر من رائعة. الآن لكل مشروع ناجح قائد مميز آمن بالفكرة من كونها بذرة حتى نجاحها. رئيس هاكاثون قطر الأول للتكنولوجيا الصحية 2024 وباحث مشارك لمكتب نائب رئيس مكتب العلوم الطبية والصحية الدكتورة خلود العبد الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحضور الكرام، السيدات والسادة، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يسعدني أن أرحب بكم اليوم في الحفل الختامي لهاكاثون التكنولوجيا الصحية الأول في دولة قطر. هذه المبادرة الطموحة التي جمعت تحت مظلتها عقولاً مبدعة وأفكاراً ملهمة من مختلف المؤسسات التعليمية والصحية في قطر، والتي تهدف إلى دعم الابتكار وتشجيع الشباب على إيجاد حلول تقنية للتحديات الصحية في مجتمعنا. لقد كانت رحلتنا حافلة بالتحديات والصعوبات، ولكن من وسط كل عقبة واجهناها انبثقت فرص جديدة، واليوم نقف هنا فخورين بما حققناه وممتنين للجهود المبذولة التي جعلتنا نصل إلى هذه اللحظة. فلقد سعينا من خلال هذا الهاكاثون إلى خلق بيئة تفاعلية تمكن المشاركين من تبادل الأفكار وتطوير مشاريع ذات قيمة واستكشاف الإمكانيات اللامحدودة للتكنولوجيا الصحية في تحسين جودة الحياة. واليوم نقف بفخر لنشهد ثمار جهودهم وندعمهم إلى مواصلة مسيرتهم لتحويل هذه الأفكار المبدعة إلى واقع ملموس يسهم في بناء مستقبل أفضل. نقدم شكرنا الجزيل لجامعة قطر لدعمها الكريم لهذا الحدث، وللأستاذة الدكتورة أسماء الثاني نائب رئيس الجامعة للعلوم الصحية والطبية على دعمها وإسهامها الكبير في إنجاح هذه المبادرة. كما نشكر جميع شركائنا من داعمين ومنظمين ومرشدين ومحكمين، وكذلك المتطوعين الذين بذلوا جهداً عظيماً لجعل هذا الحدث ممكناً. كما نخص بالشكر الفرق المشاركة على حماسهم وتفانيهم وابتكاراتهم التي أضافت طابعاً مميزاً على هذا الحدث. أتمنى لكم جميعاً التوفيق والاستمتاع بهذه اللحظات الأخيرة من الهاكاثون، ونحن على يقين بأننا سنرى من بينكم قادة مبتكرين لتصنعوا التغيير الذي سيؤثر ليس فقط على قطاع الصحة في قطر، بل إن شاء الله على مستوى العالم. مستقبلنا يعتمد على إبداعكم وإصراركم. شكراً لكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
من كل عقبة تنبعث العديد من الفرص، وأفضل قائد هو من ينتهزها. شكراً لك دكتورة خلود لكونك رئيساً لهذا البرنامج المثمر. الآن المتحدث الرئيسي لليوم رئيس مجلس إدارة شركة قطر فارما للصناعات الدوائية الدكتور أحمد السليطي.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أول حاجة أشكركم على دعوتكم لحضور هذا المؤتمر، وأتمنى لكم التوفيق إن شاء الله فيها. يعني بتكلم بعض الشيء عن قطر فارما إذا تسمحوا لي، والحمد لله رب العالمين. وين وصلنا وين بدينا في صناعة دوائية في قطر. أول صناعة بديناها في 2009. بداية الصناعة كان للأسف ما عندنا في ذاك الوقت لما جينا نبتدي كذلك عملية الريجستريشن في قطر، ما في قانون ينظمها. لكن الحمد لله توفقنا، بدينا مع مكتب استشاري عالمي انني فارما بلان متخصص في الصناعة الدوائية، وكان سلمنا هاند بوك ريجستريشن، لأن فعلا وقفنا في عملية الموافقات من وزارة الصحة. يعني كانت بالنسبة تعرف بتبتدي استثمار توقف لأن القانون ما يسمح لك. فالحمد لله تعدينا هذه، سوينا ريجستريشن هاند بوك مع الكونسلتنج وسلمنا لوزارة الصحة. بدينا في المرحلة اللي بعدها في 2009 بدينا أول إنتاج النصف الثاني. فكانت كذلك معوقات عملية الريجستريشن، مختبرات مايكروبيولوجي ما كانت موجودة عندنا في قطر في ذاك الوقت. والحمد لله تمكنا مع الوزارة، أرسلوا للFDA ذاك الوقت السعودي، تم تسجيلنا في قطر. أي منتج ننتجه يحتاج عملية الاستابيليتي تاخذ فترة طويلة، يعني تتكلم يمكن حوالي سنة. يعني صناعة خلينا نقول صناعة وعرة، تحتاج تنتج وتنتظر سنة بالفل اوكوباي للمصنع، ومن بعدها تروح للمرحلة الريجستريشن. بدينا الحمد لله في ذاك الوقت في 2009 بخطين إنتاج، ننتج فقط المحاليل الوريدية. الآن الحمد لله صرنا 15 خط إنتاج مع الخطوط الجديدة اللي افتتح هذه الفترة. الحمد لله نصدر حاليا mainly الانتاجات اللي ننتجها مسجلين يمكن حوالي 580 منتج. طبعا ما يغطي السوق القطري، لكن كثير منها كل منتج احنا يعني ما يقارب 75 من انتاجنا للتصدير، و25 يغطي احتياجات المنتجات الموجوده عندنا. الحمد لله الكباسيتي كبيره فيها، عندنا عقود مع مؤسسه حمد، وصلنا لمرحله الحمد لله بعد معاناه ودخول المنتج الوطني ويعني الثقه بالمنتج الوطني خذنا فتره طويله وتشالنج كبير بالنسبه لنا صراحه. وصناعه الدوائي مثل ما قلت وعره، يعني وعره ما بسهله، فيه الكواليتي والجوده، بروسس الانتاج بروسس طويل، لكن الحمد لله بالاصرار انه يكون عندنا في البلد منتج وطني دوائي، منتج ممتاز. الحمد لله كان لنا دور كبير خلال فتره الحصار، انتجنا 120 منتج كان يجينا من الدول الحصار او وكلاء في دول. الحمد لله طواري، منتجات طواري كنا انتاجناها مع وزاره الصحه ومؤسسه حمد بالتعاون، والحمد لله بدينا فيه بشكل جيد. الان مثل ما قلت عندنا 15 دوله صدر لها بشكل دائم الحمد لله رب العالمين، عقود ممتازه فيها. حاليا نستعد للدخول للاتحاد الاوروبي، جانا الانسبكشن الاول الكيو اي وخذنا الحمد لله الموافقه فيه. بدينا بتسجيل يعني على اساس ندخل في هذه الدول. لازم يعني شفنا بعد البحث ان احنا الدراسه ان احنا ندخل في المنتجات اللي يكون عندهم شورت فيها او انها تكون حاليا شبه مش موجوده، على اساس تقدر تدخل في عمليه الاكسلريتد في الريجستريشن فيها. والحمد لله دخلنا فيها، سجلنا 3 منتجات الاتروبين، وسجلنا البراستامول اتروبين ال.5 وال.6، والحمد لله رب العالمين حاليا بروسس ان شاء الله بدايه السنه القادمه راح نصدر ونعمل باتش ريليز في مالطا على حسب اللي ما جانا من الاتحاد الاوروبي. وهذا مسيرتنا في قطر فارما بشكل مختصر. والصناعه تعرف الرو ماتيريال، الامبلويي، كل هذول مش متوفر عندنا في قطر، يعني كل شيء نجيبه من برا، لكن الحمد لله صارت عندنا قاعده كبيره، والمنتج المصنع شغال الحمد لله 24 ساعه. بدينا بمصنع واحد، حاليا 3 مصانع موجوده، وننتج كثير من المنتجات الحمد لله رب العالمين. وهذه قصه يعني الحمد لله نجاحنا ودعمنا ودعم الدوله بالنسبه لنا، وجزاكم الله خير على وقتكم.
في البداية ذكرت أن المتحدثين اليوم ملهمين، وأتوقع الآن الجميع متفق معي على هذه الجملة. شكراً لجميع المتحدثين الأفاضل، كلماتكم الملهمة التي ستعلق في ذاكرتنا جميعاً طويلاً. أما الآن ننتقل إلى ثمرة الهاكاثون، حيث يلتقي أصحاب العقول النيرة في ميدان لا يعرف حدوداً للتميز والابتكار. فهنا حيث يلتقي الأمل بالمعرفة في مسابقة تهدف إلى إبراز أفضل العقول التي ستقود مستقبل الرعاية الصحية والابتكار التكنولوجي، متحدين حدود الممكن. فنبدأ الآن بالعروض النهائية للفرق المتأهلة لنهائي هاكاثون قطر الأول للتكنولوجيا الصحية 2024. الفريق الأول اليوم هو فريق جينو.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Dr. Yaman Tayyar, the founder of Geno, our startup that aims to make cutting-edge, specialized, personalized gene medicine accessible to all patients worldwide. But first, I'd like you to meet Layla. Layla is a cancer patient, and her condition is quickly deteriorating. For Layla and millions of other patients, current therapies in the market don't work because the mutations in her genes are unique to her. So this means that to make her therapy, we need to make personalized gene therapies for her, which usually, or a lot of times, cost significant amounts, sometimes over millions of dollars. In addition, even if Layla could afford this, she has to wait a long period, sometimes months. And for Layla, this might be too late. So making gene medicine, and especially personalized medicine, is a complex task and sometimes requires highly specialized equipment and significant investment. But here comes Geno, our device that costs usually less than 15,000 times the current solution. It requires zero expertise in nanomedicine for clinicians to make personalized nanotherapies. And best of all, Geno is currently the only solution in the market that targets making these specialized gene medicine on the bedside by clinicians. With zero electronics and cutting-edge microfluidic mechanism for mixing raw materials, Geno is able to match the performance even of those the highest specialized equipment. And here you can see Geno in action, delivering these therapies into the inside of the cell. The market size for gene medicine is massive, and it's expected to reach more than $44 billion with a staggering CAGR of 19.4%. We aim to provide these solutions to researchers worldwide, pharmaceutical companies, and later on to clinical settings. And we have several revenue streams to ensure that our platform will keep growing and keep providing these cutting-edge solutions. As a founder of Geno, I have more than 10 years of expertise in nanomedicine and gene medicine, in addition to regulatory affairs. I am the founder of a previous startup that has been funded and the winner of season 16 of Stars of Science. On board, we have an expert in GMP and regulatory affairs and a seasoned expert in sales and business development. Today, we're here to ask you for 25,000 Qatari riyal to finalize our design and ensure compliance with GMP. Thank you so much. We hope you join our journey, and it's been a pleasure to be here. I'm happy to receive any questions. Please. So it's based on microfluidic mixing. This is the device itself. Sorry. You can see two compartments on the top of the device. So you load your mainly lipids. That's the encapsulating material or the delivering material for these gene medicine. On the other side, you load the active ingredients. I have a photo here. So that's what's inside of Geno. It's mainly a microfluidic mixing mechanism for these materials to do what we call self-assembly. So what happens here is this gene medicine that we have gets encapsulated in nanoparticles. These nanoparticles are essential to deliver these genetic medicine into the cells. Do you have any other questions for me? Yes, please.
What diseases are you going to focus on?
So we are providing the technology, we're not researching diseases as per se, but there are many diseases that this can target, and especially rare gene disorders, because it's specialized treatments, personalized treatments. So mainly rare gene diseases, cancer, and infectious diseases as well. And here are some examples of the current costs for some personalized medicine currently approved by FDA.
Does it mean that you are dependent on the regulatory approval of all those medicines? If they are not approved, then your device won't be much use. And your market size is dependent on the size of the patients, because they are not, many of them are, for example, if you pick up the first one, the second one, they are very much in the Caucasian population.
That's correct. Great question, actually. We don't depend on the market for that. So we've done the targeting of Geno in several phases. The first phase for Geno is for R&D use, for gene medicine experts or researchers, sorry. So there is a massive market for this because a lot of gene medicine experts have the gene expertise, but they can't take their medicine to the next stage because they don't have this expertise in nanomedicine, which is essential to develop these medicines further. So Geno aims to increase the chances first of developing this new medicine. But second, we will not go for FDA approvals ourselves. We'll work at a later stage with biotech companies to develop their medicines based on our platform. And it'll be, at the end of the day, it'll be them applying for the FDA approvals. But we'll work closely with them, of course.
Can I ask?
Please.
Sorry, it's a second question for me. Of course, very ambitious, but when pharmaceutical companies design clinical trials for delivering a molecule
Yes.
for treatments of rare disease, just based on your example,
Yes.
they will design everything from A to Z to go to bedside in
Yes.
these trials. They will not stuck with how to deliver. Otherwise, it is not a clinical trial approved. They cannot touch the patients, you know.
Mhm.
So I don't see how this will be going to the pharmaceutical companies, and they will be using it to be able to match what they are doing as a medicine, let's
Yes.
say. And so the benefit of it could be less than if it is designed and approved with the molecule itself before it's delivered or agreed to be delivered as a clinical trials phase 1, for example.
100%. So for the regulatory pathway to take place, we will not take Geno as a device and approve it with FDA. We'll take it as a package with its molecule that is delivering, because this is essential from FDA perspective. So we will take the device with its molecule to be FDA approved. As for why pharmaceutical companies would like something like this, I totally agree with you. They won't at all, because now if this goes to clinics, you'll not need the pharmaceutical companies to make these medicines. But this is, at the end of the road, targets clinicians in clinical settings. So imagine you are a clinician, and instead of asking or requesting this medicine to be manufactured in a whole factory, you have a way to do it, to make it for the patient at the bedside. Currently, there is no other solution that can do this in clinical settings. And I'm not sure if I answered your question.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Please.
Thank you for all this information. According to our information, our experience for registration, I think there's no need to go for pharmaceutical, go for medical device. So this is a medical device. It will be easy to get the GMP, good manufacturer practice, instead of going all the process. So I think if you are registered as a medical device, it will be easy, less requirement. And also Qatar Pharma, we can help according to our experience, and we have already manufactured for GMP, so we can support for this project.
That'd be amazing. And actually, this is one of the approaches we're currently assessing. Do we go and take this to FDA as a medical device and then start partnering with the biotech or gene medicine startups? Or do we first talk to these companies and develop our platform together? This is something we're assessing still, but thank you so much for the
So
suggestion.
I think if you go for a guideline, we'll show you how it will be. It's already, we have department specialists in this one, so we can help, because already we are registered in, as I said, GCC country, different country also have the, which is FDA, and also now already we registered in Europe. And we are in a process to go.
That'd be
so we
amazing.
can give you this experience, which one we
That
have.
would be more
on
than
this
amazing.
one. And we
I'd
can
love
give
to work with you.
With a clean room to start. We can help altogether to build this business.
That'd be fantastic for sure. I'd be honored to work with you for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any more questions for me?
شكرا فريق
Thank you so
جينو.
much.
شكرا فريق جينو، كل التوفيق يا رب. راح ننتقل للفريق الثاني، لكن قبل ما ننتقل إعلان بسيط. كل فريق يسمح له ب3 أسئلة من الحكام من الحضور، 3 أسئلة فقط فضلاً. الفريق الثاني سينرجينكس.
ممكن أسحب المايك؟ هات اللي بإيدك.
Let's see. Can you hear me well? Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Dr. Susu Zugayer, and I am a microbiologist. I am here today to tell you about our innovation that is antimicrobial resistant buster. So why do we care? We all know antibiotics save lives. We all know that antimicrobial resistance is rising. As well, there's death of 5 million people annually, expected to rise to 40 million because of the continuous silent pandemic of AMR. In addition, it has a massive economic burden on the healthcare, where you have $66 billion of estimated cost. So what did we come up with? We come up with AMR buster, Synerginex. And technically, we used our current antibiotics. We formulated with adjuvants. Both are FDA-approved molecules, and we managed to restore the function of antibiotics. How does it work? As you could see, antimicrobial resistant bacteria is thriving really well, but when we treat it with Synerginex, it's busted. So ladies and gentlemen, this is our innovation, and it should have a huge market, because the total antibiotic market size estimated to be around $45.6 billion annually. And with antimicrobial resistance continue to rise, expected to increase by 3.3%. That's for the general antibiotic market. If we think of the antibiotic consumption in the animal sector alone, and if you don't know, there's at least 100,000 tons of antibiotics consumed in the animal sector. That comes at $4.6 billion. So our business model, because we come up with FDA-approved formulation components in the formulation, we anticipate that licensing Synerginex to companies with annual fees and royalties would be our business model. Who are the companies? Thank you, Mr. Sileti. We have Qatar Pharma and others, and the usual giants in pharmacy. Our competitive landscape. First of all, we managed to get a patent on this innovation. Thank you, QU, for the opportunity. And if we calculate the market size, the segment that contains the antimicrobial resistance at 20% rate, so we are talking at $9 billion, the market. If we assume that Synergiseq will be adopted at 1% only, that would come to $90 million annually, and that's the anticipated revenue. But let's think of the low-hanging fruit here. If we think of our race camels, our beloved pets, our cattle and animal sector in the GCC area only, with 42 million livestock, there is a cost of $1 billion to treat these animals. And with that, given the antimicrobial resistance rate at 20%, we are talking about market size of $200 million. So if Synergiseq adopts only 10% of the market in the GCC area, we're talking about a $20 million annually as estimated revenue in the GCC area. Who are we? We are microbiologists. We fight pathogens. We are pharmacologists. We develop novel adjuvants. We are end users, medical, dental, and vet professionals. What do I want? We want money to move our innovation into the animal examination or in vivo animal testing, and also to get supplies and reagents, more importantly, seek potential interest from pharmacology companies. With that, I thank you for listening, and I will take any question. Questions?
So thank you. I think you have identified a very important problem. But I've got two questions. One, you use the word bacteria in a very broad term. Do you know that which specific bacteria you are going to do it? One. Second, you need to remember, I think the market size is one thing, but every country, including Qatar, we have got guidelines. You cannot use antibiotic out of the guidelines.
Yes,
And it takes, last antibiotic was invented in 1975, 76. Since then, of course, we don't have any new antibiotic, and this is again not a new antibiotic. So how it is going to be streamlined with in the country's evidence-based medicine? Because market size is one thing and being used is another thing.
Yes, thank you for the excellent question. Regarding your first question, that this is E. coli, a very common cause of infection in the human and in the animal sector. But we tested our product on gram-positives and gram-negatives of significance in causing disease in human and animal sector, so that's covered. The antibiotics we tested the usual last resort antibiotics like colistin, we tested ceftriaxone, and we tested the first line like ampicillin. We plan to test more. Now, very pertinent point, how do we get that to the patient? We don't plan to. That's why our business model is to do licensing deal with annual fees and royalties, hopefully with pharmaceutical industries that has the capacity to translate that into clinical trials and pass it through the regulatory affairs, and then it will become introduced to the market. So I don't think in the end point, because that's not within my reach, to be honest. Other questions?
Thank you very much, Dr. Susu. This is really nice. So regarding the technical readiness level, like where you are from this, are you in the in vitro, like preliminary results? Because like, you know, I don't think you touch on how the adjuvant can really make these, you know, old chemicals better. Is it a delivery system, or is it like what is the mechanism and where we are from the readiness?
It's what they call the trade secret, but technically we use two molecules. Both are FDA approved. One of them is your regular antibiotic, and the other one is, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but they were mixed together using rotatory chemistry. And we synthesized a new compound. When we tested the mechanism of action, it acts on the outer membrane of the bacteria and it busts holes into it, and that's why it kills within 4 hours or less.
So you mean this is a new compound?
Technically, yes, adjuvanted antibiotic.
So it's going to be IND application?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's not a delivery system for something approved. This is completely new chemicals, right?
Yeah, it's revamped antibiotic with much potent force than the original antibiotic.
Okay, and regarding back to the readiness level, is it in vitro, in vivo?
Yes, we've done all the in vitro studies at all levels. Now, that's why I'm pitching to request money to do the animal studies and look at the biodistribution and the availability and pharmacokinetics, dynamics, etc. So that's why we need the fund.
Okay, best luck.
Other questions?
Doctora, thank you for all this information. I'm happy to see something here rise in Qatar and Qatar University. By the way, we are producing different antibiotic also. I am not familiar with this one, but if you are allowed to sit with our team so we can support our R&D So we see how we can do it and support from Qatar.
It would be my utmost pleasure.
Inshallah,
yes,
welcome.
definitely.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
ما شاء الله على كل الشرح المبهر، كل التوفيق يا رب. الآن الفريق الثالث سيرجيك AI.
هذه قصته في غرفة العمليات حيث الحياة في كفة واحدة. حدث خطأ طبي لم يكن في الحسبان. لحظة من التراخي وخطأ في التقدير وكل شيء تغير. لحظتها شعرت بتقل المسؤولية وأدركت أن مثل هذه الأخطاء قد تكون قاتلة. فكرت في المريض وفي عائلته وكم من الأرواح تفقد بسبب أخطاء طبية. قررت أن أواجه الواقع. يجب أن نتوقف عن قبول هذه الأخطاء كجزء من النظام الطبي. Laparoscopy device more than the traditional surgery because it provides minimum incision and more safe and developed. But most surgeons suffer from the poor visualization in the screen. The visualization is related only for the handle of the camera and the light. They cannot see everything like organ, vein, etc. So sometimes it causes complication like hemorrhagia. So it will make more operating time, is mean more % of the risk. 20% of the surgeon make medical error. 36% of patients had surgical and post-operative complications, and of course, more than $2 million monthly from the hospital to recover this medical error. So our solution is an AI model integrated into the endoscope to guide the surgeon during the operating room for optimal visualization of anatomical structure like organ, vein, artery, and minimize minimum medical error. You can see the input image, how will be in the output image with the help of AI, so there is identification of the organ. We collected 2 million data of the video and we train it to the AI to have 87% of success. You can see our first demo when we train our model for high quality and have this model. You can see the surgeon, when we make activation, you can see, for example, the color red is mean it's artery. So he helped the surgeon to be careful or to detect. There is, for example, the color yellow is mean there is a hidden organ. We can be careful to damage a wrong organ. You need to follow the dimension of the green. The green color is the determined organ to cut it. So it's a software will be integrated in any medical devices. So our business model, we will sell this software to transforming the normal endoscope to smart endoscope with system with alert system. Also, the price of integration of software for one device is 3,000 riyal. So we will focus on first year only on 1,000 devices to reach 3 million. So after 6 months of a trial, we will focus on subscription, pay 500 per month for activation the system. It's B2B for 2 clients, hospital and clinic. For the competitor, our devices give a smart surgery assistant in pre and per-operative via live and stream data. But there is another, the other side, there is a company, Carsantec, they give a smart surgery, but after finish the video. They take the video recording, put it on the system, then they give some advice to avoid it in the next surgery. But the medical error is happened. So it's not live and stream data like our project. So we published our article, scientific article about our project. This is the photo of a live experience. We tested in military hospital to know more about feedback of the surgeon. So this is our team: Mohammed Kehna, surgical technologist and digital health expert; Mahmoud, biomedical engineer; Samah, medical business expert; and Ahoud Abdullah, mathematical student. So we will ask for the fund, $25,000, and of course partnership with like Hamad or Qatar to empower our existence in the market. So thank you so much. I will end with من أحياها ومن أحياها كأنما أحيا الناس جميعا. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the presentation. You mentioned medical errors was a big problem, okay. But can you tell me, because AI is still something very new and the medical industry, understandably so, is very cautious about trying new technologies, especially in technologies for invasive procedures. So the question is, who is your target customer? Is it to be used by a surgeon during surgery, or should it be used by a medical student for training purposes?
Okay. For the data, we collect more than 2 million data is an open source from many university, and I take more than 1 week, than one year to clean the data, because it's too much data. It's very hard to clean the data and give it to the model to train, and they reach 87%. For the American company, they always focus about the post-operative. Why? Because I make contribution of two technologies, AI and augmented reality. So the augmented reality will make the identification of the organ, and AI know where exactly and make a prediction of the medical error. Before it will happen, will make an alert to the surgeon. And for example, if medical error it happens, so he will guide him to repair fastly and minimum complication.
Okay, but I didn't ask you, you didn't answer my question, and I didn't ask you about the technical viability of your idea. Have you spoken to surgeons? Are they willing to use this? What I'm talking about, not the technical viability. I'm not questioning it. I
Yeah.
could question it, by the way, but I left it alone. I did not touch it. I'm talking about practical applications. So we have many examples of medical innovations that have been rejected, not because they're not technically viable, but for example, because of policy, because of regulations, because insurance companies would not cover any لا سمح الله, يعني they would not cover any errors. Who is to blame? So I'm talking about the non-technical aspects of your invention. Have you spoken to surgeons? Have you spoken to universities, training centers? Where do you see the opportunity?
Okay, I start with one of my story. So I was in surgical team. I'm surgical technologist, and I stopped from my work because of medical mistake. So I know also to my colleague, I speak to them how it's medical error, it happened, and also I already did it, the medical mistake. So no one he will say about it, because we need to give to the patient a good image always. But I'm always in the medical team, so it always, every day it happens. So also, when I test it, I always make a survey to ask the surgeon about if there is any features I need to add to minimize medical error. Thank you.
Where did you get the data from? You said million of data. These are the operations data. You are getting it from somewhere?
From Kaggle, there is more than 2 million videos from laparoscopy of some surgery, like appendicitis, like, for example, bladder removal. So there is from medical clinic and the University of Stanford, Harvard, they put too much videos. So I take the videos. They are more than 5 million videos.
You said open source data.
Open
You
source,
didn't need to have any permission to get that data.
No. There is open source of 5-10 minute video. I take it all the images and give it to the AI to train. But you need to clean the data because more operation, and I want to focus only on the laparoscopy.
Okay.
Thank you, Mohammed. You mentioned, I think, the success or the prediction power or rate or score is kind of 87%?
87, yeah. 87.
Okay, maybe like machine learning or AI is not my field, but the way I look at this number, while it's fantastic related to a lot of like prediction models, but in this case, if I'm a surgeon, and you're gonna give me like 13% error, margin of error or probability of error, that red thing, okay, is not, for example, a blood vessel, and then I will cut it, okay, this is gonna be a disaster, right? So the way I look at the prediction power, it depends on the context. Like, for example, when you talk about pharmaceutical products, okay, sterility means that you have 0 microorganism. There is no way, like there is no even like a little bit of microorganism we can live with in injectables. Okay, that's the same thing here. Like for me, 87%, if it is formulation related things, your model will cut, like for example, 87 of the effort that I will put to formulate a medication or to do some kind of chemistry. This is fantastic. But in this specific case and similar context, like the 13% error can make me as a surgeon just cut that because I think it's a adipose tissue while it's a blood vessel,
Okay.
right? So do you think this like even 87% is good?
It's good because the first model when I did it is 75%. More I give him data, more he will be improved. So it's a deep learning. So our model is only for 2 million data. So I need to give him more data. He can increase to 95%. So if you give him more data, so if I give to the when we enter to the market, of course, many hospitals they will use it every day. So every day there is every data. Too much data so will increase from 87% to 95%. So and also he always like this. For example, in the demo. If it's not complicated, he cannot make activation. So he will make activate only in complicated situation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. For the first question, you asked me about the client, right? About the client? Okay.
شكرا لفريق سيرجيك AI، كل التوفيق. الآن ننتقل لرابع فريق لدينا اليوم، نيورو إنسايت.
بس حطيت له هذه زين. شلون يروح فوق هنا يروح قدام صح؟ اوكي.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fawziya Naji. I'm actually a PhD student at Qatar University Health Sciences, and I'm one of the founders of the Neuro Inside. All of us, we have children. We care about it, and we are in pain if they suffer. So what if their sufferness is no more than having a delayed diagnosis? Let's have this video together.
For her whole life, Leanne's autism has been misdiagnosed and misunderstood. The failure to resulted in serious mental health issues and multiple attempts at taking her own life.
So really, we are having a big problem of missed and undiagnosing of autism. What is autism? Autism is a neurodevelopmental condition. It affects social, communication, behavioral skills of the infected person. So we have diagnostic tools, but unfortunately, the current diagnostic tools miss many cases, especially if it's in early stages, until the patient develops the developmental abnormalities. In Qatar, if we can see here, Qatar only has 5,000 children infected with autism, keeping Qatar as one of the top countries with autism, with the rate of autism in children. And worldwide, these numbers are increasing, and it reached up to 75 million individuals with autism. So what is the solution for that? It is as easy as one click. So one click, detect it all, is the hint for the Neuro Insight. The Neuro Insight is an innovative AI technology. Actually, it will analyze the brain signal from the patient, and it will detect the autism early stages and early abnormalities, and it will produce it to you in a visualized form as the percentage of having abnormalities in that person. And yet, this is the accuracy rate of this method is 99%. If it is used for patients in its early life, less than 1 year, it will improve a huge improvement in the patient, 50% in its language and communication skill, 40% in the behavior and socialization skills, which is really a great impact. So our market size is really huge and expected to reach up to $2.4 billion within 7 years. Also, there is a similar increase in the market segment and market share. Now, we are flexible in the business model. We provided 3 business models, depend on the customer's demand. If the customer is fluctuating, so we will do per use, the pay per use. The other one is monthly subscription for the highly demanded customers like medical centers, and API integration that we integrate our platform with their existing IT system, and that's for really huge institutions like hospitals. Now, we do have competitors at market. However, their scope of service is totally different than ours. They are looking for making or changing the traditional methods into an AI model, behavior assessment tool, and neurodiagnostic. However, ours is unique, and it is ensuring lots of things. It is unique in a way that it will provide you an early detection for the disease. And what it will ensure that there will be a data partnership, and there will be in the data, in accessing the data, and we will be the first mover adventure. So the one that will partner with us, it will be loyal and will have the loyal and foundation, and it will be a user-friendly system. Behind this innovation is a great team of AI, engineering, medical, neurophysiology, and autism diagnostic. And we are all ensuring that both technical and medical support are provided. So please, what we are asking for, we are asking you that we are a seed of an innovation. So please water us with money and care so we can plan to have a real good solution. Thank you for joining our dream, the Neuro Insight.
Thank you so much. Nice work. I have a very simple question. Do you develop the prototype?
Actually, it is not yet fully developed, but what we are working on is having the prototype in the first stage. It will be only as an application that can be integrated with the EEG system. Then further, we can just really have it like one package at the second stage. So we are just moving into stages because of funding.
Okay. And what's your next step in terms of who will be tested? You need large cohorts, of diagnosed children, right?
Yes.
In different stages, and non-diagnosed or healthy.
Yes.
You know, so you can see the difference and all of these kind of.
Yes,
like-
actually, we are really, we are talking and trying to implement it into the all level of autism because it has different level of severities. And as I said, because we are concerning about screening, so the screening, you will not find the baby coming to you with not showing any developmental abnormalities. His signaling will be like quite normal, but it is not normal. So those will be the target, the main target. So you want to catch any abnormalities in the brain signals, and then we can refer that child to take the care.
Yeah. You know, we are at Sidra Medicine. We are running a big studies for autism, and and we do have a lots of data about many autistic children and their family members. It's a big genomic cohorts and also a deep phenotyping. And I'm very happy to support you if you will need any help in terms of seeing patients.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, let me know.
Sure. Thank you very much. Sure.
Thank you. I used to be a pediatrician seeing a lot of autistic children years back in England. I think I've got a couple of questions. One, you use the word as a number 99% effective. Where did you get that figure? Because if you haven't started your prototype and you haven't got the data, but you're saying it is going to be 99% effective.
Yes, there is other studies actually in the literature saying that analyzing the EEG signals into an AI show an accuracy of 99% to be perfect. So because this is not yet done, so we took that figure that it will be reflected to us as well. We need, for sure, we need to work on it on a patient trial, but that's figure come from that one.
Yeah, I think it's misleading. It's better to put this from the literature rather than.
Yes.
Other is that you need to be thinking about screening is always about false positive and false negative. So your test needs to be very, very clear. Other is that data, and you said, I think it's the highest top 10 countries who are having.
Qatar, yeah.
But still, if you need to get the data for AI, Qatar is a very small country. So you won't be able to get enough data, even if you have the permission to get the data. That's another thing you need to remember. You won't have enough data. So are you going to have partnership with other countries where there is a high prevalence of autistic children?
Mostly the highest countries for autistic children is Qatar, Emirat, and Saudi, and the MENA region. They are considered really one of the highest. Also, we have in America, because their rate is one child in every 35 child, they are autistic. Okay, so for that we can start, we are thinking actually, we thought of a solution like, since this is an AI, I mean, we can translate a signal into a data, right? Why we cannot have a web-based server that they can send us their EEG, and then we can transfer it to the solution. So in that way, we will have the data, as well as we will not reveal ourselves much.
Last but not least, I think there is a lot of development going on the diagnosis of autism, including the blood test, including the number of other ways. Have you looked at, I think you mentioned about your competitor, but not very clear.
Yeah.
But I think there are so many things in the pipeline, which is going to make and diagnose it early stage easy.
Okay, so if we come to a child, let's think the other way, I'm a mother myself. So if I want to diagnose my child with anything or just check up, I will prefer other than having a blood test, because the baby will not sit. Especially we are talking about that the autism is increasing after 2 years of age. You can see the development. I mean the developmental abnormalities. So what about the list? Are you going to take a blood test from a 6-month-year baby? So it is difficult. But how about putting just a helmet, a device, and he's just playing on iPad or doing whatever he's doing, and he's analyzed at the end of the day?
I can understand your emotions as a mother not to take blood, but looking at if you want to mainstream this innovation into the health system, then it needs to be part of the screening program. We do take blood on every child on the first week. Right, and they diagnose a lot of things. And if that blood test is going to be the key, then the chances are it's going to become part of that 1 week or 3 months or 2 months screening program. And I think you need to look at it from the health system viewpoint rather than from the individual patient viewpoint.
Okay, thank you. We noticed.
اوكي، شكرا جزيلا للفريق، يعطيكم العافيه.
بس عشان تحت، عشان هو تحت بس.
الآن المتسابق التالي الفريق فلير لايف سيفر درون.
Hi, my name is Omar. I'm a healthcare informatics officer and then paramedic at HMC Ambulance Service. With me is Mr. Abdul Rahman, a computer engineering student at Qatar University. In a decade of ambulance experience, our first enemy is cardiac arrest. In Qatar alone, 700 people have this every year, with less than 30% surviving. That's because 10% of your chances are gone every minute. An ambulance response takes around 8 minutes. That's a time we cannot afford. Early CPR can help with this, but an AED, which is an automatic electric shock device that is available in malls and airports, can boost your chances 7-fold, but it's rarely within reach. I think we can do better. I like to introduce Flare, which is a drone with a built-in AED that can reach any patient outdoors in 2 minutes. When activated, it's dispatched and flies high above traffic and crowds, reaching patients using AI to navigate on its own to the patient, and multiple sensors to avoid buildings, obstacles, and landing safely to the patient. Then it can be picked up by the patient, now a regular AED, and then used to give a crucial early shock to the patient, boosting their chances, giving them another chance at life. Lives are priceless, but every noble cause needs a business model. Ours is simple. It's a B2B model targeting government emergency services through sales of the drone as well as a service contract. Then pivoting to a drone as a service model that targets private entities, events, stadiums, and construction sites. We're standing at 2 markets, the $166 billion global emergency response market and the GCC drone market at $1.59 billion by 2029. Every ambulance service is a potential client. But how do we get there? We start with a crucial first year that requires around $132,000 in research and engineering to get to our first prototype. Then, with our first client, we establish credibility and get our foot in the market. Then, from there, once we establish and validate our market, we can pivot from 20 to 80 drones deployed, can get us to around $2.6 billion in revenue, as well as reducing our margins by optimizing the design. Looking at the competitors, everyone else, every established commercial drone platform focuses on single purpose, like security and surveillance. A decade of ambulance service expertise makes Flare a complete package designed to save lives and provide a rapid response. With your help, Flare can be a network of drones that redefines what a safety net is, turning crucial minutes into years to come. Thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the presentation. Who will administer the electric shock to the patient?
Okay. Currently, if this device is available at the bystander, it uses voice prompts to guide the patient, to guide the bystander who called the ambulance to help the patient with voice prompts. Our drone delivers this device, which is rarely available when the emergency happens, next to them. And it uses the voice prompts as well as coaching from the emergency services to help the bystander help the patient. So the drone itself has the AED built in.
And do you feel that I'm not a doctor, but do you feel that someone like me could administer that?
Usually,
or do I need special training?
Without guidance from a professional call taker, like we have here in Qatar, I'm one of them, people usually need to be trained to use the AED. However, every day through our work, we coach people on the phone to use the AED if it's available, even if they're not trained.
Thank you.
And these instructions can be given through the drone.
Thank you. Has this thing been done anywhere else in the world?
Like the closest example is in Norway. In 2014, it was a prototype in a university, but it didn't. It never reached the market due to like the drone regulations for autonomous drones. They were not mature at that time. Unlike, but that was in Norway and in the West where it's more strict than here. Here we have more mature guidelines, and drones are being used in HMC using the recently added smart ambulance. That one is used for surveillance mainly, and in Al-Khwayya and police, drones are being used all the time.
Right. I'm very happy to help further, but because this thing has already been done in Scotland, we already started it. I was medical director for Scotland before coming here. We started it, it's being used by the ambulance. They have done the pilot because there are a lot of things you need to be considering, which of course you have limited time, you might have considered. And if you want, I think they have done it and they are already using it. It's also being used in a couple of states in America because these are the states which there is a very vast land and of course ambulance can't reach. And we had the same challenge in Scotland. Because of the hilly areas, I think we started using it now. So I think they have started from the prototype and they're gone to the point which is already being used. So of course you can learn things from them and happy to link you with.
I would appreciate that help. Thank you so much. Anyone else?
Thank you. Actually, I want to ask about the accuracy of your ETA if you mentioned 2 minutes. So based on what and which experience?
Okay, so the drone that we aspire to create is an FPV drone, which can reach speeds of around 100 miles, which of course is subject to the laws of wherever it's deployed. Based on a 4-kilometer radius, that's where we got the figure of 2 minutes, taking into account that it has to take off and then navigate to the location and then land safely, taking into account that people can maybe around the landing area, so it needs to notify them to clear before landing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sorry.
Great.
شكرا لفريق فلير درون. الآن ننتقل إلى فريق ADR Predictor.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Thank you. I'm Usama from Hamad bin Khalifa University. Could you imagine that by the end of the pitch, someone is dead? Yes, someone is dead due to adverse drug reactions. Adverse drug reactions are unintended harmful side reactions that happen as a result of taking certain medications. Each year, we lose about 300,000 people due to adverse drug reactions. And it cost a staggering 300 billion US dollars to treat these reactions. an amount that is 5 times the cost of treating cardiovascular diseases and diabetes. But don't worry, because today I'm humbled to announce to you that my team has developed a revolutionary tool. I introduce you to ADR Predictor, an AI-powered tool that uses patient genetic information to predict adverse drug reactions before they occur. And not only that, it also suggests a better alternative medication. How does it work? This is the prototype. So welcome to the homepage of ADR Predictor, what it does, who is it for, and you can simply click on Predict Now button. Enter the patient's details, age, current medication, drug history, if any, ethnicity, family history, comorbidities, and confidently submit and see the result. The result we are saying here will inform a doctor about whether not to prescribe a drug to a certain patient due to associated toxicities. And it will also suggest a better, safer alternative medication. Of course, this aligns with the vision of Qatar 2030, the Qatar 2030 vision to improve healthcare system. I believe you are curious about how big the market is. With our business model targeting hospitals and pharma companies, that will generate an annual revenue of $1 million in 1 month. That is $12 million in 1 year. So we're starting small but growing big. And I believe by now you should be curious how big this market is. The pharmacogenomics market globally received a staggering investment of $7.5 billion in 2021 only, and a solid $225 million in the Middle East. In Qatar, our serviceable obtainable market is estimated at around $1.7 million annually. Of course, there are competitors in the market, but while the competitors are busy focusing on a specific number of drugs or genes, we went beyond that. Because we are backed by research, our tool can predict adverse drug reactions way before they occur, and it can also suggest a better alternative medication. Of course, to achieve this vision into reality, we need your support, an investment of 200,000 Qatari riyal. With this, we will achieve a 5 million revenue in 3 years. The team are enthusiastic PhD students from Hamad bin Khalifa University who have a strong background and training in genomic and precision medicine, bioinformatics, machine learning, and biomedical science. And thank you very much for your time, and I'll be happy to take questions. Yes.
Thank you for your presentation.
Mhm.
I just wanted to know about the HLA typing.
Yes.
This is the only data that you could get from the genome, and how you're doing it. And you picked one of the alleles, and
Yes.
And why is this one, and how many you have, and how you does that, and what else you could add as a biomarkers to make your system or model unique. These kind of softwares available now everywhere. Everyone saying mine is the best, competing. I am the only one, and I can do, the others cannot do. What's make yours unique, and what's the HLA typing is based on? It is local population, or it is whatever it is available on the public data sets?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. It's a very comprehensive one. The first question about the HLA typing, so it works at different levels because we know genetic variation are population specific. So what we're going to rely on is first, we're going to rely on published databases where we can get information that are associated drugs with certain adverse reactions or genetic variations. That's one level. Another level is to use population-specific data set to train the models to identify associations with genetic variations and association with adverse drug reactions that were not reported before. So we can do that using Qatar Biobank dataset in we merge it with the Qatar Genome Program dataset as well as the electronic health record to develop models that are population specific. That's when you are focusing on in the Qatari population. We can also avail such data through UK Biobank and also develop tools and models that can be applied in the European population as well.
About other genes?
Of course.
Not every disease is HLA associated.
So we are not just focusing on HLA. In the very beginning, we'll focus on HLA because it's the well-studied one, but our aim is to diversify it to the whole genome, not only focusing on HLA genes, because there are many studies, GWAS studies that are associated genetic variations with response to drugs, so that can also help in training the model.
So this software, when you click on the HLA, if you leave it, it will show like a drop-down menu of everything you have as in the genome, like you know at the beginning when when you fill the data, you know, where is it?
Sorry.
Keep going.
Yeah. So this is just the prototype. It's not playing. Yeah, this is just demonstration. This is not the actual tool, actually. Yeah. Questions?
If I've understood correctly, once it's all up and running,
sorry,
when this will be up and running right in future,
yeah,
then you can put individual patient details and it will give you the predictor.
Yes.
So based on the model you have proposed, your most stronger predictor is coming from the genomic data.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Whether it's HLA or some other things,
Yeah.
right? So does it mean that if you don't have the genomic data, your model won't work? Because all of the predictors, variables are very weak variables. Yes. The age, ethnicity, these are weak variables. If you look at the prevalence of the drug reactions, we do have a data in Qatar because when it happened, we do collect it. It is very small, right? It is not such a huge problem, you can say it's very small. But in order to scale it up, you still need the genomic data. And at this point in time, you don't have the whole population having the genomic or HLA being done.
Yeah, so a very important question. Our tool is mostly based on the genetic data. The prediction is mostly based on genetic data, but the other data will complement to understand the holistic feature of the patient. That's number one. And number two, regarding to the accessibility of the population, the genomic data of the population, I think it's practically impossible to get a data like the whole population. But subpopulation, like the Qatar Genome Program data set, that's a very good representation of the Qatari population, for instance. The UK Biobank data set is a very good representation of the European population. And there are many biobanks where you can just apply and get the data access. You can access the data and also train the models. And this can be the fruits of the research that can be benefited.
So it will be the proxy data you will use, not the actual individual genomic data.
No.
Because if you don't have the whole population data and the person with a particular ethnicity is coming, then you'll say, okay, I think based on our data set, this is the proxy HLA we could use because that might be the most relevant one.
Yeah, so what will happen is with the available data we have, for instance, the 14,000 from the Qatar Genome Program, we train the model and determine the associations. We train the model in such a way that it can tell when I see this variation, this drug should not be prescribed to this patient. That is to train it. But when we have a secondary data, genomic data coming from someone who was not in the training, it can also use and identify the pattern from the pre-existing trend model to say that based on the knowledge I have, these patients will not take certain drug.
Many thanks for ADR predictor teams. شكرا جزيلا
Thank you very
للفريق.
much.
الآن ننتقل للفريق الآتي، فريق ثيرماغارد. فريق ثيرماغارد.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alicia. I'm a dentist and an aspiring researcher. I represent the team Thermagard. So, what do you feel when you look at this picture? Hajj pilgrims performing their rituals very peacefully and calmly, right? But do you really know what's happening in the background? They're struggling to cope up with the heat. This year alone, we lost 1,031 lives due to heat stroke. And it's not just about Hajj pilgrims, construction workers, security guards, delivery agents, those people who don't have an option but to be outdoors during the summers, especially in the Middle East where the temperatures go up to 50 degrees Celsius, are at the risk of getting heat stroke. Last year, in August, Hamad Emergencies received 280 cases of heat-related illnesses in just 1 week. 500,000 people die every year due to heat stroke on a global basis. And that being said, 2.4 billion people globally at the risk of getting heat stroke. These are not just numbers. They represent lives, futures, and families. So how do we tackle this heat? Of course, we have a couple of products in the market like cooling vests, portable fans, gel packs, but here's a problem. They don't actually prevent heat stroke. They cannot detect when a person is at risk. So the problem remains, how can we create a solution that doesn't just provide comfort, but actively protects lives? Thermagard, hybrid wearable cooling tech, a smart wearable solution designed to detect and prevent heat stroke before it becomes dangerous. Imagine a lightweight, easy-to-wear device that provides instant, long-lasting cooling. With its built-in temperature sensor, it knows exactly when a person is at risk and can send alert via app so they can act fast. And unlike the other products in the market, like Technique and Erdogan, our solution uniquely integrates temperature monitoring and rechargeable system so that it provides more function and convenience. Our targeted customers are companies employing construction workers, athletes, militaries, oil and gas, and government institutions. Currently, we have 1 million potential users in Qatar alone, that being said 22 million GCC and 2.4 billion globally. Let's assume 1/4 of the construction companies in Qatar are interested in buying our product, and we are aiming for 30% profit margin. Guess how much we could make out of it? It's $1.2 million in profit. Why would these companies be interested in us after all? Let me tell you why. In Qatar, companies could save up to 10 to 12% of their average annual employment cost. And in US, companies are already bleeding $100 billion every year due to heat-related inefficiencies. And that figure is about to double by 2030. So clearly, we have a huge problem, and we have a viable solution too. We are a dedicated team of passionate doctors and engineers who are working on this project to bring it to life. Finally, it's not just about comfort. It's about safety, health, and productivity. Thank you. Any questions?
What is the material used to cool down?
Yes, we have PCM, that's phase change materials, that those materials bring up the temperature or the core body temperature of the person who is wearing it. And we have a thermoelectric cooling system that keeps this material solid. You get my point?
Yeah, and it is thin enough so people can wear it comfortably under the clothes.
Yes. Okay, can we have the other picture? Okay, that's not exactly what we meant. It's just a ChatGPT work. What we are planning to make is the phase-changing materials, the cooling pad, will be on the back so that people can wear it easily with something of a maybe zip or just a strap. So it wouldn't because we are mainly focusing on construction workers, it shouldn't, hinder their work. So something that's easily wearable inside, which is attached on the skin, and they will have a temperature sensor to sense the core body temperature. And if it goes beyond maybe 39.5 degrees Celsius, it's gonna give alert. So the person knows when he is at the risk of getting heat stroke. Usually the problem is people don't know when they're getting heat stroke. They just think, it's just the heat, they can cope up with it. But in no time, they'll be fainting, and it's very fatal.
How about if they know?
Sorry?
They get to know.
Okay.
Okay, and they are in the mid of the construction site.
Yes.
And there is hundreds of them.
Yeah.
On the same conditions. Are we gonna evacuate all of them? What it's like applicability?
Yeah,
of
heat
the
stroke.
product.
When we talk about heat stroke, a person like said, we have 100 of people, but not everybody is very much prone to heat stroke. It depends on their genetics and everything. But if someone is at the risk and the alert goes, the person is supposed to be taken away from the environment as soon as possible, because that's and then we can go for the treatments. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, that's how it works. We're just in the very primary stage. Any other questions? Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, okay, sorry.
No problem. Okay, can you explain how the phase change material work? The mechanism of this, like how the PCM really absorb will shield the temperature. How is that?
Okay. PCM, these materials, they have a certain melting points.
Yes.
They cool really fast, yeah? And then they take up the body temperature. They take up the body heat, basically. And then usually it stays for 2 to 3 hours, and then they're completely melted. They have completely taken up the energy, and they no longer can work. That's how the cooling vests work. But we have thermoelectric cooling system that keeps the PCM solid. Means they're still at the stage of absorbing heat from the body.
Oh, so what you are proposing is the thermoelectrical cooling, and is not the phase changing material.
No, we have both. Because thermoelectric, it keeps the PCM viable. It keeps the PCM in the position that it can absorb the heat. And PCM is the material that absorbs the heat from the body. So it keeps the core body temperature.
And you mentioned, okay, because you're right. The phase changing material, it does not really last for long.
No, it doesn't.
Because it does depend on taking, all the enthalpy to convert, the phase from solid into liquid, and that's it.
Yes.
So this is gonna work for 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, and that's it.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so in that table where you compare your product or what you're proposing with the other competitor, you said I noticed reusable. Do you mean the technique or what?
No,
cooling vest
we have our product is rechargeable. So what really the Technique cooling vest, how they work is they have these cooling pads. They need to be kept in the freezer. Only then they can reuse it again. Ours is a rechargeable one. So you just need to charge it, and then the thermoelectric system will keep the cooling pad cool.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
شكرا لفريق ثيرماغارد. الآن ننتقل إلى فريق كور ميميك.
How do I filmed? Okay. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. This is Noor al-Muslimani from Core Mimic. I would like to start out by telling you a story of a young boy called Jasim. Jasim is my son. He has been diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. He's 15 years old, and he's been told he only has 20 years to live with a poor quality of life. At a patient-facing conference, I was told that my son, Jasim, it's no longer a matter of if a drug is going to be developed, it's a matter of time. However, my son does not have this time. The story that I just told you
is a story of a real mother and 50 million people globally who are suffering from neuromuscular disorders. So what are we here to do at CoreMimic? We're here to change this. We're here to accelerate drug development. We're here to revolutionize drug development. The old methods really depend on cell culture and growing cells on a petri dish. This has a lot of limitations, one of which it's unrealistic model. Secondly, low accuracy and increased time and cost to clinical trials. However, with the system we're bringing in, the revolutionary model, over here, sorry, I can't point. What we're presenting a model that allows for a human muscle on a chip. That would allow us to, the advantage is functional human modeling, as well as high accuracy, reduced time and cost to clinical trials. Now let's talk business. We're talking about a B2B business model. Our customers mainly are the pharma, the research institute, the academic research institute, health and academic. In terms of the revenues, we're looking at 3 modes. 1, chips per sale. 2nd, subscription models. 3rd, our contract research service. In terms of the opportunity for our business is big. We have a TAM of 10.5 billion, while a SOM of 2.5. Looking at our 5-year projection, initially, we foresee 0 revenues at the first year because we'll be focused on developing this model and having communications with our hospital entities. Our main, however, within the 5th year, we anticipate $3 million. The target for our business, we want to be the first in the MENA, and we also want to have global reach. So let's talk about the competitors in the market. Mainly, there are 2 major competitors for the neuromuscular area. We're talking about Hesperos and Inovio. Our advantage is we bring in an image storage system as well as advanced diagnostic AI, and we furthermore sell the chip at a lower price. Not only that, but our application extends to the pharma and health research institutes. Furthermore, the additional feature that we bring in is a functional measuring method for the muscle. Our team is made up of a multidisciplinary team from computer scientists, neurologists, musculoskeletal biology, biomedical researchers, people from the pharmacy and neuroscience. So I would like to end by, first of all, thanking you. And I would like to ask for 25,000 Qatari riyals to bring this vision to life and use this money to develop this chip. And as of yet, we have LOIs signed with Sidra Medicine and Qatar Precision Medicine. Thank you very much. Any questions? Thank you.
شكرا لفريق كور ميميك. الآن إلى الفريق ما قبل الأخير، فريق سول ميت.
بس مش سامعة صوت. الإيباد بس خلينا. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I am here to talk about a challenge impacting the lives of more than 500 million people who walk regularly but suffering from a chronic foot and knee pain. This widespread pain results from the prolonged strain, the repetitive movements, and inadequate support, leading to issues such as the muscle fatigue and the joint inflammation and an increased risk of the long-term injuries. Soulmate. Soulmate is our solution, an adaptive and smart insole system designed with advanced biomechanics and orthopedic insights to address these issues. By providing and offering the personalized insole and support for each customer, Soulmate is aimed to reduce the knee and foot pain, support the health of the joint, and eliminating the need for multiple specialized shoes. It's not only a product. Soulmate is a step toward the sustainable habits, encouraging more people to walk comfortably and reduce their carbon footprint. Regarding our prototype, we have a 3D animation that showcases the transformative features of our Soulmate. We have the adaptive support, which has automatically adjusts the firmness based on our wearer's activity. Also, we have the temperature control, and finally, the health monitoring insights. Now, let's talk about the market size. Realistically, we aim to capture about 29 million people in our initial target segments, such as the athletes, the older people, and people with active lifestyles who would significantly impact of our adaptive insole technology. Our business model. Soulmate is built on a multi-channel revenue model, which has the direct sales, the subscription services, the licensing partnerships, and finally the medical data insights. Compared to our current brands, such as the BodyStep, Soulmate stands out with unique features, such as the temperature control, the health monitoring, and the most important one, the dynamic firmness adjustment, capabilities that are not available in our competitor products. Regarding our team is a blend of expertise across the health, technology, and the product development, as you see here. To bring our Soulmate to the market, we are seeking funding for 25,000 Qatari riyals, and these are for the product development and R&D, the prototyping and testing, the marketing and market expansion, the manufacturing and operation, and the legal and compliance. We also are seeking for technical expertise and the manufacturing partnerships to ensure high quality production and scalability. Our last statement. Imagine every step you take is being customized to your needs. With Soulmate, we are not only elevating the pain, we are empowering people to walk better and live healthier. Join us in changing the life of changing the future of food health. Thank you. Okay. Any questions?
شكرا لفريق سلميت. الآن لآخر فريق معنا اليوم، فريق وناسا. Test. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Minnatullah, and this is Wanasa. Raise your hand if you've ever felt stressed, bored, lonely, too busy to arrange for the weekend. Keep your hand up. Now look around. We here do not only represent the Qatari population, but we also represent the global population. We're talking about people all across the globe suffering from mental issues, but they also lack the ability to talk about it. Mental issues present mostly with psychosomatic symptoms that make you suffer all the time.
But you might wonder, why do people not seek physicians? They don't seek physician because of the huge barrier in front of them, and that's stigma. Here, we preach always that there is no health without mental health. But we're talking about $9 trillion lost in annual productivity just due to mental health issues. And as I said, we always say there is no health without mental health. Here in QU Health, over the last 4 years, we have been gathering events over the years and creating a community where people come together. Yeah, it's working. Where people come together and they bond and connect and overcome their stress, and we give them tools that make them resilient for the rest of their life. Looking further, we wanted to brainstorm a way that we share this experience that we have for the last 4 years into the palm of the hand of everyone in Qatar and the world. So, why is it not working? I present Wanasa. So what's Wanasa? Wanasa is a mental wellness app that has 3 most important core features. And these core features are: 1, a live tracking to your vital signs that will help us pick on your peaks and tell you and give you the proper tool, be it breathing, be it meditating, be it grounding, to help you overcome this attack. And after that, we're going to link you with the proper professional who's going to guide you through the rest of your mental health journey. The second is a core feature that will also allow people to join activities that have evidence-based psychological tools within them to build resilience in the community. And the third is a feature that will make everyone here have the event of their fantasies come true by a one-stop customization where they can create their own event, book a venue, book catering, ask to have a well-being facility or a coordinator on board, and move further. From this, you can tell that we have a huge market because we have 3 different market segments, and each one of them will have a different analysis. We're talking about a possibility of having a sustainable, obtainable market ranging from $1.8 million to $24.4 million. If we want to break this into a business model, we're talking about 6 different types and revenue channels depending on the 3 core features. In total, we're talking about $609,000 annually as annual revenue. Okay, let's tackle this further. We're talking now about the app development. The app development is going to be the most costly part, and it's going to take a lot of it in the beginning, but as we go, it's going to be reduced down. Further, for expandability and reaching out globally, we're going to first add more tools as we go. CPD tools, DBT tools. Next, we're going to expand in the region. We're starting in Qatar, then we'll go to the GCC, and as we go. And then we're going to have AI integration and personalization to make it close to the person, to build the community that they could depend on. Third, we're going to also link with the network of professionals that we already have to make this further a successful project. Third, last but not least, we're going to create marketing and community through broadcasts, through different media to help people actually be part of this community. Let's talk about our competitors. Everyone knows that we have Waqta, who's currently a venue booking app that does not provide any well-being accessibility or any well-being exercises. We have Lyra, who's a well-being platform, but it only provides online sessions. What good is online for mental wellness? We also have Calm or similar products that provide tools, but they don't give you the tools when they need it. You have to go open the app, go to the tool, and use it. What benefit is that? Here in Wanasa, we give you the tool when you need it. We fight stigma. We provide a proper one-stop customizable station, and you can also join a real community that will let you feel belonged. Last but not least, in Wanasa, we believe that we want to aim to be a trusted resource for mental wellness in Qatar and beyond, and we want to fight mental health stigma through solidarity and events. This is our team, and thank you. Questions?
Thank you very much. You said other competitors, we need to click on the app to access. So
Yes.
every app have to be clicked to access,
100%.
right? So how yours is not gonna work without clicking to access? Yeah,
If
right?
I go back to the prototype, our idea is that we're going to monitor your vitals through your wearable, through your device, and based on your vital signs, it will pick when you're having an attack, stress attack, or increased stress levels. And then after that, we're going to give you a notification. Start breathing. Take a deep breath. Stop. Instead of you having to go to the app, open the app, and initiating the session.
So I need to wear something else to be able to utilize
Initially,
the
yes,
functions
but it
here.
could be, yes.
Yeah, so that will cost me
You can
more.
use your phone,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
True. Who here wears a watch or a wearable device? We have more than 50% of the community currently, but this is our target.
Okay, and those 50%, the rest, they have to
The
go
rest
and buy.
can use the other 2 core features. But that's why we have different core features to tackle every member of the community.
Yes. Okay, how about the stigma? Yeah, I didn't understand this. And I also want to know that other app is called Calm, and obviously you will be calmed down when you access, because that's a mental health, like what we need most in our busy lives, you know. So yours is so busy as well, you know. So how would this compare to that, please?
Okay, so you're talking
thank
about...
you, very, very nice, thank you.
No worries. So you're talking about stigma and how we're going to tackle stigma. So to start with, stigma starts when we start pathologizing conditions. With something very prevalent, that we're talking about stress or loneliness or boredom, if we tell them that this is going to make you calm, I bet that if someone's so calm on your app, will tell you that, oh, this person is having something. Oh, why is she has this app on her phone? Why is she using this? Why is she using that? So this initiates from the fact that we're not normalizing using such an app. We don't have a community that encourages you to do such an activity, to use evidence-based tools in psychology. That's why they suffer, and that's why we have this barrier between people. The moment that you tell them that, okay, this is Wanasa, you're going to have fun, you're going to use it in your day-to-day life, in every event, in your birthday, in your bridal shower, in your getaways, in your weekend gatherings, it becomes a norm. It becomes something normal to practice grounding. It's something normal to practice breathing. And this is what we want to aim to. We want to make people know that these tools are used to increase your resilience as a user, as a community في النهاية كمان. Questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Actually, I want to get more about the app monetization, from which channel you are going to make monies, and what is your plans?
Okay. So from we have 3 different core features. Let me go back to them. Okay. So here the first app is going to be the promotional aspect of this model, which means that it's not going to be monetized, because first, we believe that it's a basic right for every user to have the access to the tools when they need it. So this is not going to be utilized, monetized, and this is what we believe in as a core belief. The second app is going to be based on subscriptions. The vendors that are going to present their activities here are going to pay for subscription, and based on that, we're going to provide these activities to users on discounted prices. The third, which is creating your own event, we have 2 modes of revenue out of it, either that they'll pay for our activity, pay for our well-being coach, or pay a tiny commission over the whole quota that we'll be giving them.
Thank you.
Thank you. شكراً لفريق وناسا. شكراً لجميع المتسابقين وجميع الفرق على هذا الإبداع المميز. الآن وبعد كل هذه العروض المميزة، ما لنا إلا أن نقول ما نراه اليوم من أفكار قد تبدو في أولى خطواتها هي مستقبل القطاع الصحي الواعد. فاستثمروا في أفكاركم. الآن ننتقل إلى استراحة قصيرة مدتها 15 دقيقة فقط. مدة الاستراحة 15 دقيقة ثم نبدأ. شكرا جميعا.
Jen, we will start in 2 minutes, please.
وسهلا بكم مجددا أيها المبدعون والمبتكرون. يسعدني أن أكون معكم مرة أخرى في هذا الحدث المميز. اسمحوا لي أولا أن أعرف بنفسي. أنا الطالب محمد الحر من كلية الطب بجامعة قطر، وكما تعلمون وها قد استمتعنا في النصف الأول من الحفل، فقد حان الوقت الآن للمزيد من المتعة والإثارة. حان الوقت الآن لتكريم المشاركين المبدعين الذين بذلوا جهوداً استثنائية في تطوير مشاريعهم المبتكرة. قبل أن نبدأ بالتكريم ندعوكم جميعاً إلى الانتظار ومشاركتنا بعد التكريم في مسابقة كاهوت للحصول على الجوائز. والآن ننتقل إلى التكريم. لقد أبهرنا المشاركون اليوم بأدائهم المتميز وإبداعهم اللامحدود، ونجح 4 فائزين متألقين في ترك بصمة خاصة جعلت كل منهم يستحق التكريم. هؤلاء الأبطال أثبتوا جميعا أن روح الابتكار والالتزام تتجسد فيهم، ولكل واحد منهم مكانة خاصة في هذا الهاكاثون. والآن ندعو الأستاذ أمير النيهوم والدكتورة خلود العبد الله والدكتور محمد أحمدنا إلى المسرح لتسليم الجوائز. والآن سنعلن عن الفائزين ال4 بالتساوي الذين استحقوا هذا التكريم عن جدار، والذين سيتوجون كأبطال هاكاثون قطر الأول للتكنولوجيا الصحية. دعونا نحتفي بهم بأجمل عبارات التهاني والتصفيق الحار. ونبدأ الآن بالفائز الأول من 4 بالتساوي، فجميع الفائزين فائزون بالتساوي. فالفائز الأول منهم درامول هو فريق نيورو سايت. نشكر فريق نيورو إنسايت. والآن إلى الفائز الثاني من الفائزين ال4 نكرر بالتساوي، هو فريق سينرجينكس. الثالث كور ميمك. شلون تكون؟ مبارك الشيخ. نشكر فريق سينرجينكس. والآن الفائز الثالث من الفائزين الأربعة هو فريق كور ميمك. نشكر فريق كور ميمك. والآن مع البطل الرابع في هاكاثون قطر الأول للتكنولوجيا الصحية هو فريق سول ميت. نشكر فريق سولميت، ونشكر الأستاذ أمير النيهوم والدكتورة خلود العبد الله والدكتور محمد أحمدنا على تسليم الجوائز. أعزائي الحضور، لنجعل هذا الجزء من الحفل أكثر تفاعلاً وحماساً، هل أنتم مستعدون لاختبار معلوماتكم حول الصحة والتكنولوجيا؟ إذن أدعوكم جميعاً للانضمام إلينا الآن، حيث ستحتاجون فقط إلى هواتفكم الذكية أو أجهزتكم المحمولة للانخراط معنا في مسابقة كاهوت. فلنفتح الباب للتحدي ونرى من سيحصد لقب البطل في هذه الفقرة. أرجو من الجميع الانضمام، فلنبدأ الآن المسابقة. أرجو الانتباه أنه سيتم توزيع الجوائز للفائزين بمسابقة كاهوت، وأن المسابقة ستجري باللغة الإنجليزية، فنرجو منكم المعذرة. كلها بالإنجليزي، تحتاجون وقت كلها بالإنجليزي. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now start a Kahoot tournament. May I kindly invite all of you to join the Kahoot tournament to have the possibility of earning coupons and vouchers from the event sponsor, Rafiq. Please insert the game pin as soon as you open the Kahoot website. We'll be starting the tournament now. Please be prepared. I'll be reading the questions out loud. Which field are participants from Qatar University Health Tech Hackathon? Sam on the top of the list. How long does the Qatar University Health Tech Hackathon last? Thank you. Which of the following is not a focus area for the hackathon? Who can participate in the Qatar University Health Tech Hackathon? Which of the following best describes the hackathon's initiative? What is the meaning of a hackathon? Rafiq Delivery stands out at Qatar University because it offers no delivery charges and short delivery times. It's a yes or no question.
Yeah.
Which of the following roles might hackathon mentors provide? What is a common activity participants engage in during the hackathon? Where is the Qatar University Health Tech Hackathon held for the first 3 days? And for third place, we have Mariam JH. Congratulations. Mir for second place. And our first place winner is Jude.
I will take a pen. I will take a pen. We have 10 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, a note to add, we will have 10 winners out of the 70 people who decided to compete with us in the Kahoot tournament. We'll have the top 10 of them receive prizes from the event sponsor, Rafiq. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. ختاما أود أن أعرب عن فخري بنجاح هذا الحدث المميز الذي جمعنا برحلة استمرت على مدى 4 أيام من العطاء والإبداع. لقد كان هذا الهاكاثون تجربة رائدة حقا، حيث جمع بين الطلاب والمهنيين الصحيين والباحثين والمبتكرين من مختلف المجالات، من الرعاية الصحية والهندسة إلى إدارة الأعمال، ليشكلوا معا فريقا متنوعا ومتكاملا. في النهاية آمل أن تكون هذه التجربة قد فتحت أمامنا جميعا آفاقا جديدة، وأن نكون قد زرعنا بذور ابتكارات تساهم في تحقيق مستقبل أفضل في مجال الرعاية الصحية. شكرا لكم مرة أخرى، ونتطلع إلى لقاءات قادمة مليئة بالتحدي والنجاح. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.